Hi guys, this is Harshita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I completed a new book recently called The Silent Patient. This is by Alex Michaelides. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. So the only reason I got this book was because it was all over the internet. Everyone was recommending it, everyone was reviewing it. So I thought, why not to give it a try. So the cover page states, only she knows what happened, only I can make her speak. And इसके back पे लिखा हुआ है, Alicia Berenson lived a seemingly perfect life until one day 6 years ago when she shot her husband in the head 5 times. Since then, she hasn't spoken a single word. It's time to find out why. So this was the very first time that I read anything in the thriller genre and I absolutely loved it. Although I read a few reviews which said that if you are into thriller and everything and you have read a lot of books around that, you might not enjoy it a lot, but because it was my first thriller novel, I absolutely enjoyed it. So starting with the book cover, the book cover looks like this. This chair symbolizes the psychological thriller part of it. The plot and the story of this book, the story revolves around Alicia Berenson, who is happily married, or it seemed like she is happily married, to Gabriel. Gabriel is a very well-known photographer, Vogue photographer, and Alicia is a painter. Everyone around them, their friends, family, seem to think that they are living a perfectly happy married life until one day Alicia shot her husband 5 times in his head, and because she was in the crime scene, she was charged for it. And after she was charged in the murder, she refused to speak, or she wasn't able to speak. She didn't speak in front of the police, she didn't speak in front of her therapist, she didn't speak in front of her friends or relatives, and then she was sent to a medical asylum where she was treated for her psychological problems. At first, everyone thought that she's acting to be silent so that she is not held guilty for what she did, but now it's been 6 years and she still has not spoken a single word, and now everyone has apparently given up on her. And there is a psychotherapist called Theo who is showing interest in this Alicia Berenson case, and he has joined the asylum in which she is admitted especially for treating her. So he does all the investigation, he's meeting all of her friends, colleagues, her relatives, everyone. And he's trying to make a sense of what must have happened a few years ago. So as I said, it was my very first thriller book. I loved it. Overall, the writing style was very easy. I didn't want anything. It was simple to read and it was interesting. It kept me hooked till the pretty end of the book. And the other thing that I liked about this book, which most of the fellow readers would agree on, was the plot twist of this book. The plot twist of this book is what this book is worth reading for. It was extremely good. And so did Alicia murder her husband or not was not really a question for me. Like, it was pretty evident, but why did she kill her husband? What must have happened? Because they were living a perfectly normal life until one day she killed her husband out of nowhere. So yeah, why did she kill her husband? What made her kill her husband? And why is she silent now? All of these questions are answered in this book and you must read it. So what I didn't like in this book, so there is not a lot of things that I didn't like, but if I have to name one thing, it would be that there were a lot of unnecessary characters introduced in this book. I understand it might be because it's a suspense thriller and they wanted to create suspense around everything, but some characters were introduced which had nothing to do with the original storyline. Also, one more thing, that as a thriller book, I kind of expected it to stay with me after I have read it. But it didn't stay with me. It slipped off my mind. I mean, the plot twist was so good that I had to rewind a few pages of the book कि मैंने कुछ miss तो नहीं कर दिया इसमें. But yeah, that was really amazing. My rating for this book would be a 4 out of 5. Yes, I liked it for me because this was my first book, as I said. And if you're also starting out in thriller or anything like that, you would love it. There is no question about it. But if you have read a lot of thrillers before, then you might not enjoy it as much. So that is it for today's video. Please comment down below if you have read it and what are your thoughts about it. I'll love to hear them all. And I'll come up with a new one very, very soon. Bye.